Hi Leo, this is wishkotheferret. Thanks for hopping into the ferret den. We're keeping things warm, we're keeping things cozy, and today we have a reading for March. Let me see if I remember the dates. 13th to the 19th. This is for the week of the 13th to the 19th, everyone. The only thing I have to say before we start and before we start getting into prayer and channeling is that I am working on launching a Patreon. Woohoo! Yay! So that is going to be sometime. I will launch it late March, early April. So if you like my vibe and you think I'm cool, go ahead and like and subscribe. That way you can keep up to date with the Patreon and get more content from me. So with that being said, Leo, drop into your heart space. Let the energy settle around you physically, mentally, and emotionally, as well as settling those energies within so you can discern which messages are for you and which messages are for other people. And then while I shuffle, I will be saying my prayer and leading you through prayer. You call in whatever spirit, guides, animals, loved ones, or teachers that you work with on the other side, and I will do the same. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for protecting us and facilitating this connection today. Thank you, Spirit Team and my angel guides, for trusting me with this message and for helping facilitate this connection with Leo. Thank you for allowing this to be a strict channel for Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And thank you for connecting us with the highest source, truth, love, and light available to us. Thank you for helping me channel empowering, healing, and gentle messages for our Leo collective. Okay, already, Leo, I feel headache energy coming on. Headache energy coming on here. First of all, I rolled the Astro Dice. You have Pluto, Libra, and the 6th house. So this does relate to your work. This does relate to your, this could relate to your health and your habits. I really do feel like this is a work situation that you are being reborn into. Pluto is the sign of rebirth, the sign of completely deconstructing something only to rebuild it again. Libra is calling in balance. So the desire or the energies that are present here is the need for balance, the need to put everything on an even playing field and make sure that you are basically, this could be in terms of like whatever you're making or earning, but keeping like the energy exchange even and making sure that you are getting equal things in return for your work. You basically want something to show for your efforts. And the reason why work is coming through very strong is because you have basically how you're showing up in the world. In the current energies, you have the world, the 10 of Pentacles, and you have the 8 of Pentacles here. So because we have Pentacle energy pretty heavy here, and we have the world, I mean, the world is indicating, to me, it's how you show up to the world and the different career opportunities that are presenting themselves to you. This is just the different opportunities around you. This could be different passions, different ventures. Interesting. So they just said, Spirit just said squire, which to me, I'm sure it has its strict definitions, looking up in the dictionary and finding it. But what Spirit is kind of meaning to me, it's almost like you are in service to somebody else. And you are a quote-unquote measly squire, and you will no longer be that. It's like you're choosing to not be that. Or you're getting frustrated and you're heading towards choosing to not be that. I'm really feeling like this week is going to be a cycle of really, I don't know, I feel like you just toil away. You toil away with this 8 of Pentacles here. If you're already in a place where you enjoy where you're at, I'm really feeling like the case is you just need to take more power into your hands. If you really enjoy where you're at, being more like kind to others and more kind to the collective, but also you're being assertive while you're asserting your authority in the position that you have. And having confidence in your decisions, because you have the Ten of Pentacles here, like I said, which was, it feels like a very collaborative energy with other people. It feels like you're working in this greater system. It feels like these are for people who have or engage with other people, or they have a group of people or group of coworkers that they work with. Just however you show up in your work life, in your community, in your day-to-day, and whatever you're working towards for your community, this is the current energy of dealing with it, toiling away. Some challenges here in terms of your work. I don't know. I find the World to be an optimistic card in the current energies. I feel like it's just optimistic. You have a lot of options. Either there's a lot of growth that you see in this career opportunity or whatever that you're in, or whatever community or setting that you are placed in. You find yourself having a lot of opportunity, or there are a lot of opportunities to go elsewhere. You're just seeing, you see the world is wide open for you to explore. So it's not just this community, but you see other options, and you see maybe you've gained skills from this job or from this company or whatever that you can now I just heard cross over. I'm hearing migrating, you see migrating options of even if it's going to a completely different company, or I don't know, shifting somewhere else. You have the ability to do that, and there are possibilities, there are options. It's not like you're just stuck in whatever, There's an opportunity to move up or move over. I feel like it is just migrating over to maybe a different, maybe the same company, but a different department or something. There are opportunities there that you have. Some challenges that you have to face is finding fulfillment, I think, because the Ten of Cups here, if this is in the challenging position, it is struggling to fulfill you, because you also have the Five of Cups here, which leads to it just some feelings of disappointment. I do feel like there's something heavy here. It's related to your wellness, is what Spirit just said. So maybe it's not providing you with the structure that you need. It's not providing you with, I just heard settlement. It's not providing you with the settlement that you require. And maybe it's time to either look elsewhere or migrate in a position that's better for you, or you're contemplating something like that. There's a challenge here that presents itself to you. And you don't have to make the change. The change is here if you want to present it. The challenge is presenting itself to you if you would like to take the change. You don't have to. We have the Queen of Wands energy as well as the Eight of Wands. And given this, I think you don't really, your heart is set here. You don't really, I don't know. For some of you don't really want to leave. And this isn't really talking about leaving anything. This feels like you have directions that you want to take this. Whatever you're working on now, you have directions or you have possibilities that you want to take this through. Because Queen of Wands is very confident, so you could be having trouble with your confidence, and the Eight of Wands is about focus. So you could be having trouble with your confidence and your focus because of these issues of feeling like you're not fulfilled and feeling like there's some kind of disappointment that's sprouting from it, either just from whatever it is. There's some kind of disappointment here in relation to your work life, or how you show up to the world in the projects that you are, whatever you are doing in service to others. It's almost like there are some challenges here with that. So basically, the way forward, or what's going to make your life easier now, is having strength. And I just heard, when I pulled this card, I heard holding the space for your strength to, don't give in, basically, is what I'm hearing. Don't give in. Holding your space, holding your station in strength is going to benefit you greatly. Also, the Chariot, recognizing that you have the power to make a choice. You have the power to choose what you're going to mentally focus on. Either you can stay headstrong and get through it and form a new opinion about it, or you can make the change and go somewhere else. There are actually, and I'm hearing from Spirit, it's not even just those two options. I feel like there are other places you can go. There are other things you can do. You don't have, you are not concealed. You are not confined, Spirit is saying. You refuse to be concealed and confined. You have special places that you go, I think, that make you feel uplifted and full. This could be sacred spaces. It doesn't necessarily have to be out in nature, but there are specific spots or moments that you cherish. Either if it's the end of the day rest type of deal where you come home and you sit on your couch and you just like veg out, and maybe you light some candles or you have some tea or you open up a book. There's some kind of special time or special space that you've curated for yourself or that you went out and find. Or there are certain places, it doesn't have to relate to rest. It could be like a special place at a job, like a special corner at a job, or like maybe you go out on the rooftop and maybe you work at night and you go out on the rooftop and you look at the stars on your break or something, and that is your special place. Like, even if it's going to this special place to tune into the portal of your heart and figure out what it is that you really need. Like, I'm hearing, like, what is it that you fear? Because those are the kinds of things that when you do those inner explorations, what are you fearing? Because that's going to help you identifying that. That's going to help you make the choices and embrace that chariot energy that's going to make this week a lot easier for you. So that being said, let's get into your oracle cards. I pre-shuffled these and didn't look at them yet, so we'll see what you have. You have the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So even though this might seem dim or grim or doom and gloom, this isn't necessarily something that's the end all be all for you. I don't know why I'm like rhyming all over the place. Oh, ha, ha, ha. It's fun. But sorry, anywho, totally off subject. But I really like what the book says about this, so I am going to pull the book on this. Spirit just said, when you channel, you don't need to go to the book. And I'm like, I know, but this is pretty and I want to read it. So I don't know. I find it to be a beautiful message. This has touched me, and I actually, it's a long story. I'm not even going to say it, but I did a project in school a long time ago, and I took a snippet from this book and quoted it because it was just that beautiful. But let me see if I can find it in here. The ever unfolding rose. Where is it? Okay. Cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it. To let life crack you open. To open through hurt and loss. To allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open no matter how much it hurts, to continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing, to open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day, in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open because the world needs you open. Now is the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. And the mantra is, everything is going to be okay. Let it crack you open. So it's actually like a work your light section, but I use it as an affirmation. But I don't know, maybe I love it because, not only do they mention transformation here, hello Pluto energy, thanks Astrodice, but it is about validating what you feel in this present moment. I think that's what I really love, because I find that a lot of tarot sometimes is just, it is what it is, and sometimes it is what it is, but other times it's just, this is happening and this is happening and this is happening, and you are actually like in more control than you realize. But it's also acknowledging like more of like an emotional aspect to this, and saying that it really touches my soul and makes me feel like I'm being cared for and looked after, and I'm just in the safety of my angel's arms, which is sometimes the only place that I want to be when life sucks. And I know that there's no choice in it. Like, it just has to suck for a while until I move on to something better. But that's just, that's just what it is for you, Leo. And that's okay. Because it's releasing these new vulnerabilities in you, or it's allowing you to recognize certain vulnerabilities that will allow you to become more capable. I'm hearing that you're a capable individual, and it's going to allow you to handle these things with more bravery and with better judgment, is what I'm hearing. You have Lemuria. I'm going to say it wrong. I'm sorry. Lemuria. I don't know why I want to not say it. Lemuria. good God. Okay. Creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So, oh my gosh, there's like all this stuff. Okay, sorry. I'm like peeking ahead at the cards. So I'm just going to tell them to you now. You have exchanging gifts here. You have come to the edge. And you have all that glitters. Okay? And I'm going to go through one by one. You also have grow. All flowers must grow through dirt. And I'm forming this message together as because it's kind of all flooding to me at once, and my throat chakra is trying to explode with it all because I looked at it all too soon and it was my fault. But creating heaven on earth is happening. I feel like this is what you're doing. I feel like I'm literally just hearing the word judicial, judgment, like you having better judgment. You have really good judgment. You are gifted with really good judgment. You've learned good judgment and you're using it. And this is helping you create more of a balance. I really feel like this Libra energy is showing through in your reading. I know the Astro Dice was talking like this particular situation, like you are just leveling the playing field for yourself and you're realizing maybe something is not fair and that you need to do something about it. So you're like, okay, this is what I have to do to create my heaven on earth. How do I bring the mountains of Colorado to me? How do I bring the the beaches of like Miami to me? How do I bring these gorgeous plants found in Africa? How do I bring them to me? There's something here about like taking all of the perfect elements of something and putting it together and saying, yes, I can do that. Sorry, I'm like hitting the table and I know it's moving the camera, but this is how powerful I see it. You're not physically taking the seas or the ocean around Miami and moving it to your home. You're not physically picking up a forest in Africa and bringing it to you. You're not like doing all of these things. You're not able to do all of these things, but you have like whatever's going to give you the same feeling of experiencing these things. It's like you're bringing that into your space, and this is the kind of energy that you are coming into and cultivating this week. Dang, Leo, like word. Rock on. Okay, we have exchanging gifts. Exchanging gifts is you having a passion for something and you're like when you're giving that back to the world, you are receiving the world's gifts in return. This is a time to embrace and to give these gifts. And it's something that by doing that, gifts can be exchanged through the learning experience. I hate to say it, but this come to the edge card, this is literally embracing your fears. We talked about this in the ever unfolding rose. This is about coming into touch with your vulnerabilities, diving into your subconscious and really picking it up. I'm not saying you take that much of a deep dive into your soul, but this whole thing is kind of forcing you, like because you're getting cracked open, you're being forced to kind of look into the abyss that this crack has made, and you're like, oh snap, look at all that stuff down there. You have no choice but to look at it. It's glaring at you in the face. It seems like it's glaring, but pet it. Your shadow self is your friend, guys. Like, it doesn't feel like it, and it really feels icky to swim in your shadow self and play around with it for a while, but it really does. Just acknowledge it is what Spirit says. It's not that scary if you just acknowledge it, because oftentimes, and let me tell you this, as a spirit medium, I have a lot of experiences and spiritual experiences where energy has been reflected back at me. So oftentimes when I am doing the deep dive into my shadow self, or something happens in my waking life that triggers something within me, and then spiritually I see it because I talk to spirits at night, and that's how it all gets translated, or like my dreams is how, like, another way that it translates to me that I may have a problem and then I have to look at something. But usually if there's something, it's talking at me, and I know it's my feelings, but it's talking at me, and it's in the form of something. It's in the form of something that I know is not me and that I know I am not. Like, I usually engage in conversation with my shadow self often, and I usually have to embrace it and actually accept it, and it has to feel my acceptance in order to, like, be released. I will feel the release from that energy, or I will feel more, I guess I'll feel lighter, I guess is what I should say. I'll feel lighter whenever I accept that energy, if that makes sense. And then it doesn't pester me as much anymore, because I recognize that it's there, and I find that it's annoying, but it is what it is. And I'm like, okay, well, look at it with a neutral perspective and say, okay, well, it's there. I acknowledge you, and I'm either going to choose to look the other way, or I'm going to do whatever I have to do to deal with it. My intuition usually guides me, and that's kind of a similar experience that you have to do. You don't have to see spirit or interact with your shadow self exactly like I do to do that. But a lot of people do this by engaging in tarot themselves, or oracle readings, or going to like readings on YouTube, or actively journaling so they can face themselves, or asking their guides to help them in their dreams. And that's usually like that could serve as another mirror as well. It could be reflected in your waking life, so you can actually be faced with the physical manifestation of, oh, this is a problem within me. And for a lot of you, like the physical manifestation and then needing to follow it up with something to further the process and fully embrace and accept the energy so you can take action on it to heal and to, I guess, lighten the energy and get back to a space where you are comfortable with manifesting and looking at life positively and trying to make a positive impact with yourself and with others. Just to get like to like a really high vibing state again, you got to work through this mess, basically. All that glitters. This just means that, you know, you stay true to yourself. It's just what's coming through. This isn't usually the message that I get with this card, but I really do feel like, you know, you're wearing a mask to please others or to rake in that gold. And you don't have to put on a mask to rake in that gold, because you're not raking in as much abundance as you can by being somebody else and by wearing a mask that belongs to somebody else, because it's not truly your face. If you were truly operating from your energy and from your true north and from your like North Star within, then you would be attracting things that do fill up your cup, and the 10 of Cups would not be as much of a challenge for you. It is in the challenge position, but it would not be in the challenge position if you were like following your heart space. And that doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong in this present moment. You can follow all the signs and synchronicities to get you into a space that you don't resonate with, but that's okay. That's how we learn, that's how we grow, and that's how our soul kind of goes, okay, this was not the best move for me. This was not the best choice. But I know that now that I'm here and experiencing it, because the soul just wants to experience things. The soul wants to experience things. Like, you will manifest things. We'll try something new. And then if we don't like it, it's not like we made a mistake. We're just learning that we don't like it, and we move on and find something else. And whatever that looks like for us, or we have to go, okay, well, this is where I'm stuck at right now. So how am I going to fix it? Or like, how am I going to change this vibration to make it better for me? So making sure that you're staying true to yourself and that you're not putting on a mask is going to help you rake in that abundance. And grow. All flowers must grow through dirt. Leo, this is your dirt right now. This is your dirt. It's dirty. It's gross. You don't want to touch it. But you know what? I feel like, kind of like, okay, and I'm a plant lover, so I have to use this analogy. I'm used to working with dirt now. I didn't like it at first. It grossed me out. I think I found a bug in it once. It was yucky. And like, I mean, like, there's probably like other gross things in it, like really, really old poop from some animal somewhere as like a fertilizer or whatever. Like, anywho, what I'm saying is that it was really gross, and it's really gross now. But I feel like after a few episodes of this kind of energy, not like, you know, not that we're looking forward to the future with this particular energy, and it's not like we have to like beckon that forward so we can learn to get through this, but I suppose what I'm saying is, you know, we want to be focusing on the good things that come into the future, but life is inevitably filled with bad moments is what I'm saying. But you don't need to dread having those bad moments come, because life is life, and it's like a seesaw, like a teeter-totter. But anywho, the point that I'm getting at here is that through the dirt, you will find the nutrients that you need. You will find, through exploring your shadow self and through this thing that is happening externally to you, or for you rather, this thing that's happening for you on the outside is like, it's going to help give you the tools that you need to grow. It's giving you exactly what you need to grow out of your situation and to embrace your strength and chariot energy. And with that, Leo, I'm going to roll the angel dice for you before I send you on your way. Anything else we got to say to our precious little Leos? 449. I do like seeing that 449. You are in touch with angels and the Divine Mother. Allow yourself to give and receive love. And one last time, you are in touch with angels and the Divine Mother. Allow yourself to give and receive love. So the Divine Mother looks like I mean, she could be seen in many different ways. It could be divine feminine. It could be Virgin Mary in Christianity. I mean, she's known as like so many other high loving energies across all cultures. But it is like a very high form of mothering, nurturing love. It's exactly kind of what the ever unfolding rose. It's not exactly kind of. Sorry. It's exactly what the ever unfolding rose was telling you about holding yourself and nurturing yourself and letting Mother Earth hold you. Mother Gaia. I don't know why that's coming through. I've never said Mother Gaia before, but if that's something you connect with, letting that hold you, letting that energy hold you, is going to help you through it and help you grow through the dirt. So thank you, Leos, for checking in. And thank you for allowing me to connect with your energy. Thank you to your guides and your angels, and I will see you next time. Bye.